Hi friends, it's Friday. Svava Brooks here. If you're watching the replay, thank you for joining me here on this journey where I am talking about and sharing with you one day at a time from my book on how to release your authentic self. This is a daily guide. Hey friend! Daily guide to help abuse and trauma survivors rediscover themselves, because that's very much what the healing journey is all about, is rediscovery. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey friends, how are you guys doing? How's your Friday going so far? I think I saw a new name here also, Brat. I don't think I've seen you before. Please say hello, introduce yourself. If you care to let us know where you're from. Thanks for the hearts. I love those hearts. Keep them coming. It's been a busy day. Been doing a lot of run around. Busy as usual for you too, Nora? Yeah? Yeah, it was busy for me too. And I got my wool sweater on. I went out to meet my daughter for lunch. Hey friend. And I took my oldest daughter to the airport and then went and met my other friend for lunch. My other daughter for lunch. Oh, you are? Lots of cycling and now in bed warming up. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds nice. I love the flowers. And I think I saw pictures of you, Sue, cozying up to a warm cup of coffee and near a fireplace after your bike ride. That looked nice. That looked nice. Yes. Hey Rob, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yes, I did have a nice day. Hanging out with my girls. Always so nice. My middle daughter, Sabrina, just moved out a few months ago, and so I'm going out of my way to set lunch dates and go meet her. So we have our lunch dates where we go chit chat and catch up. I miss her. She's my fairy princess. So oh yeah, you did your biking this morning, right? And you've been out since. You've been a busy bee today. Busy bee, busy bee. Exactly. It's great to keep those bonds strong. They're my babies, exactly. If anything, I'm strengthening the bonds even more, because when they were babies, I was still up to my eyeballs in my trauma, so to speak, still just kind of starting my healing journey. And I know that the heart connection that I had with them then was limited. So because I didn't know how to connect with them any other way. I knew how to feed them, I knew how to clothe them, you know, I knew how to take care of them, and I was very perfect about it, right? It had to be so very controlling. And I think they were a little scared of me when they were little, because I was kind of one of those moms that, you know, you spilled the milk, and I didn't physically abuse my kids, but, you know, the look I gave them, you know, kind of, unfortunately, I think was hard. Yes, exactly. I hear you, Sue. So, but it is possible. You know, they're still my babies. They'll always be my babies, and I'm going to continue to love and support them for the rest of their lives. Obviously, now that they're adults, I can't do much parenting anymore. Actually, I was telling my daughter on the drive to get lunch, and just to remind her, she's having some stuff going on, and I was just reminding her, you know, you're an inner child, you're a little girl, she just needs you to be her mommy now, and I'm sorry, I'm just the auntie to her inner child now. I can't be the mommy anymore. But I can believe in her, I can support her, I can be a safe place for her. I hold the bucket a lot when she just needs to vent. Adulting is hard, right? So I just listen. It's like, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, that must have been hard, right? So, and then I just give her a great big hug and tell her, you know, she's amazing and she's got this, right? So, and for us, so those of us here who, you know, maybe feel like we didn't do as good of a job as we would have liked, right? Is that whatever healing we continue to do, it still has the ripple effects. It still impacts our families. Even though they may not so directly a part of our lives, the healing we do releases them from having to do that work, because as we know, lots of trauma and abuse is multi-generational. We aren't just healing our wounds. We were burdened with our parents or our grandparents or historical, yada, 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 right? So anyways, I just went right into the deep end of the pool today, didn't I? And it's Friday. What was I thinking? Right? Amen, brother, right? Absolutely. It's all good, right? It's all good. You just press play in my head and it just goes, or play and that just goes. So today, what are we talking about? Anybody looked ahead? I know a couple of you here have the book already, and this was a good one. So remember, I just want to set the tone here, just to kind of, okay, lay it out there a little bit before we start. That the intention behind, you know, this book particularly is for us when we've been on the healing journey for a while, right? Thanks for the hearts, guys. When we've been working on some of these trauma issues, we've learned a lot about trauma. We understand a lot of it, and we understand our coping, and, you know, recognize maybe some of our, you know, either depression or challenges with our feelings. Exactly. That's what we're doing, finding your truths, and we're talking about our spiritual truths today. But I want to just put it out there. The reason why I wanted to write this book and adding those questions to it, I really want to challenge you a little bit. Again, because we've been conditioned because of our trauma, our way of thinking, disconnected and isolated a lot. I'm really wanting to encourage you to develop like a natural curiosity for, you know, when you hear a different truth or something that is being presented to you, that you consider the possibility, just the possibility. You don't have to accept it as truth in the moment, and you could even explore it and then decide, no, that's not for me. I don't see it that way. This feels more like my truth. And I do, you know, tell you and all my clients, you know, my truth isn't inherently everybody's truth, right? I want to invite you to honor your truth, and you have full permission, of course, to disagree or see it differently or whatever. So I just present some suggestions and then invite you to explore it for yourself. So I hope that makes sense. But again, I personally always on the healing journey, and I'm still exploring. Actually, just went and listened to an author last night, and I'm actually thinking about seeing if I can interview her, do a YouTube video, because I think she's brilliant. When you find someone that has written a book about what you do or how you do things or what you believe, some of the things that I've stumbled upon, so to speak, I just sat there yesterday and like, So here, I'll give you guys a quick, I recommend this book. Brilliant woman, brilliant. I'm gonna go spend Sunday with her. So she's giving away a whole day of a workshop on Sunday. So I'm gonna go soak in some more goodies from her. So back to where we were, day 19, all right? Are we ready? We're gonna talk about some spiritual truths today. Okay, truths, possibilities, options, whatever, right? So it is time, I'm going to be read from our good book. It's time for you to find your way back to these 3 spiritual truths. 1, we are all connected. 2, we are all one. All of us, all one. 3, we are all divine love. This one is my favorite. This number 3 is probably the one that I believe the most. My biggest truth is that we are all divine love. For me, love is God. My God is love, right? So oneness is the only thing in the world that makes sense. It's a deep inner knowing you receive each time you meditate on your authentic self. Again, part of this journey, right? We're restoring our authentic self, peeling back, thanks for the hearts, guys, peeling back our conditioning, our coping, our survival, right? And like, well, in all of these things that I took on, what is inherently authentic to me? And in this world where we are, sold from the morning, the minute we get up until we go to bed on, be different, be something else, or, listen to everybody else. We're not taught to really listen to ourselves and our own hearts and our own wisdom, our own bodies, our own spirits, where we connect with spirit. So the questions, 2 questions, right? How does it make you feel? Exactly. The myth of individuality. Exactly. How does it make you feel when I say we're all connected? That's the first question. And how would your life change if you lived each day authentically as a spirit of divine love? I'm going to pause. How would we? Right? So, thoughts, you guys. In our Facebook group, we already had a little back and forth about this. It's beautiful. But I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. And again, we are just kind of starting to challenge ourselves a little bit about, our thoughts and feelings about ourselves in the world, because I never realized I could, so I never thought of living that way. I hear you. I totally hear you. I can definitely relate to that. Exactly. I never thought it possible for me to feel loved or to be a loving person, having grown up with the impact of the trauma, thinking that I was bad. I was the one responsible. I was ashamed of myself, right? So who am I to ever think that anything good was going to happen to me, or that I was worthy of love, or could live even in peace and joy and harmony and experience something else other than fear and panic, right, in myself. So trauma disconnects us, right? We talk a lot about that. Interconnected is the truth, exactly. And it is our isolation that kind of keeps us stuck, right? And it's trauma that disconnects us, and it's our shame that wants us to isolate, that like pull away from the pain, right? But the thing is, we need people to heal. We need to connect with others. We need that resonance, right? That body to body, heart to heart, eye to eye, to model how to be differently. And that's what I loved about what Sarah Payton was talking about in her book, is, you know, it is in connection with others that we heal, and we kind of see the possibility of what it looks like to connect with ourselves. Like we see, you know, from other people what it is to be in a connected body, what it looks like to be connected to yourself, what it looks like to practice self-care and self-kindness. And the more I connected with me and started really turning that warmth towards myself, then the more I felt connected to all people, to all that is, to, you know, closer to my family, of course, closer to other people, closer to, exactly. It takes some risk to reach out and connect with others. Yeah, it can be very scary because we worry that we're not worthy or that we're going to be rejected. Right? Right? And then the other thing too is that we are here in this, and what I'm inquiring about is that I'm inviting you to look at all people. And like, if we are all one, does that also mean that people that we don't approve of or we didn't like, or even the people that hurt us, you know, are we like them? Are they like us? Yes, I agree. It is. Exactly. Exactly. We are always just a cross-section of what our outside world looks like and feels like. For sure. For sure. So, like I shared with you guys, the more I connected with myself, the more I felt connected and could relate to others, right? The more I started feeling kindness towards me, and the more I healed my shame, I became a lot less judgmental or critical of others. Like when I, you know, stopped judging me, all of a sudden I stopped judging others, because I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I was just like that, or I may still do that, but I know why, and I'm struggling with it, but I'm working on it, and I'm not a bad person. I'm just struggling with living in this human body, right? So in my body now, through my meditations, you know, and actually I feel like it was the TRE exercises, the tension and trauma release exercises, that really helped me go so deep into my body with relaxing any tension, the holding pattern of any tension in my body, that it really created that deep relaxation and opening for a possibility of something new. That's where I feel like my spiritual journey started getting deeper and deeper. And that was kind of what blew my mind, is that, you know, connecting to spirit, oneness, universe, God, love, whatever you want to call it, it isn't an out here experience, that I actually connect to it in here. And that's hard to explain to people, but it's like I connect to it deep in here, but the experience is vast. Like, it makes you see how small and tiny you are, but in this great big universe, how we are all connected and we're all the same. We're all the same. And, you know, and even just being here, you guys, connecting, you know, seeing me, and we're sharing our thoughts and our feelings about this particular topic, we are connecting. We are supporting one another. We are kind of working our way through exploring a new truth, or a new way of being, or, you know, the social engagement part, the back and forth, safe dialogue of, well, these are my thoughts. This is what I think. This is what I feel. Of course. It's all, you know, valid. And then to come back to yourself, it's like, well, how can I start to live out of my honest or authentic self, knowing that I am loved more than you know, I'm gonna get tears in my eyes, because that's probably what is giving me the most peace, is that I don't need, yes, I need people, I need connection with other people, but I feel loved in a way that I never thought was possible. And it's not like human kind of love. Like, it's not like the love my husband and my kids give me, that's like a bonus. But the other love that I feel when I relax and drop into my body and connect to where I am connected to source or God or love and all that is, and when I've had my struggles, once I started connecting to that, hey Mel, hey friend, I started, you know, when you know you have access to that love, you're not alone. Then when there was a big, I call them projects, when you get these big realizations you need to work through, then you sometimes feel, okay, this feels too big for me to handle alone. I'm gonna hand it over to love. I'm gonna hand it over to God. It's just too much for this human body, this person, to deal with, to feel at this point. Please help me with it. And the help comes. That's been my experience. So glad you're here, Mel. We're digging deep today. We're digging deep. Any thoughts? Comments? Sue, I really liked your writing in the group earlier today. If you care to share a little bit. We're talking about our spiritual selves. We are all connected. We are all one. We are all divine love. That felt like a little too big in the beginning, you know, for me too. What do you mean? Who am I to declare that I'm divine love? Yes, I am. And now I declare it, I own it, I feel it, and I share it wholeheartedly, gladly, because there's so much of it. I have plenty to share. And that's okay, guys. You don't have to. I don't mean to put anybody on the spot. And like I said, I recognize, and we will revisit this throughout the book. I do talk about, you know, spirituality and love and self-care and self-compassion and some of those things that feel a little too much. Like, wow, can I really love this much? Can I really, like, say that I can feel that much? It's something that we work towards and work on. So I just want to share with you guys from my experience, and I am too work in progress, but I can say the things that have helped me the most continues to be my meditation practice, which, you know, meditation is like sleep, right? You kind of have to do it every day, and you need it every day. No. It's okay. No worries, Sue. No worries, Sue. Honor where you're at. And so, no, you don't have to be a particular religion in my book to deserve love. Not at all. And if anything, you know, it has been interesting to see that, you know, people that so many in our culture will see as outcasts, or you know, like we talked about a little bit yesterday. Yes, I get the feeling that if something is difficult, then the reward is greater. Yes, and I get it, Nora, exactly. And that's kind of the journey we're on. It's like we're all on the journey to our hearts. It's like we get it here first, but then how can we experience it? Exactly. Don't give up. That's right. That's right. And I'm here to remind you guys that you can do this. We can do this, and we can do this together, and we need to do it together, right? It's like we don't go on this journey alone. It's like I would not have been able to go in there without my fellow human beings, that sometimes, you know, I needed to lean on someone else, or I needed to look at another body to see what it looked like to live in a body that was calm and grounded and, you know, was connected to their hearts and open and could look me straight in the eye and just simply say, Svava, I love you just the way you are. And then I could learn how to do that for myself. Yes, Sue. That's a very good question. We are each unique individuals, but we are yet all the same. We are all a unique expression of love, right? Your authentic expression of love. And that's sometimes the hard part, because we are, you know, yes, we need other bodies to show us what it's like to be human, and how, like I said, I needed almost permission in the beginning. Yes, you can say that. Yes, you can use those words. Yes, you can have those feelings. Yeah, that's normal. And like that's what I've learned with my the TRE practice, the tension and trauma release, all that somatic learning, all that somatic wisdom, is that, you know, when I model or help my clients, when they start to go inside and learn to trust their truths, their bodies and their feelings, right? That's your truth. And then once you get out all the discomfort, all the, what we experience as the hard feelings, guess what? Underneath it all, you're creating space for the joy, right? The compassion, the gratitude, you know, the love, the beauty, right? The connection to all that you are seeing and being present to. All of that is kind of buried underneath the bad, because we repress the bad. We also repress the good, right? We can't just go, well, on the selection of feelings, I want to get rid of anger, fear, shame, and guilt. But I want to keep joy, happiness, gratitude, and love. It doesn't work that way. It all goes. You repress your feelings, you repress all of them, which then also means we don't even know what that love feels like, right? So helping, you know, together, helping each other body to body, you know, kindness to kindness, love to love, extending that to each other and to other human beings is such a gift. It's such a gift, because most people operated out of their traumatized nervous system, dysregulated nervous system, chaotic nervous system, right? Fear-based nervous system, where you're just on guard and, you know, in defense constantly. And when we're there, right, what we get back is other people like that. But when we ground ourselves in our truth and lead with our hearts, exactly, Rob, thank you, exactly. I have a few people, friends, that practice Buddhism. And it's just so much truth. And I think I'm not a scholar. I have not read all the, you know, the text of all the religions of the world. But I still know in my heart of hearts, or I want to believe, that most religions out there, you know, that's what they teach. It's like, you know, we love our fellow humans, you know, your neighbor and your friends as you care for yourself, right? But it takes practice. It takes practice. And so I tried to lead with love. And it was actually one of those turning points on my healing journey where, you know, I was asking one of those why. Like I still, you know, started as a little girl. I was always relentless asking why. I just came in with this insatiable curiosity. You know, on a really tough part of my journey, I was asking why. And just like this knowing drops in, it's like, well, you're here to learn about love. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. I can hang on to that. And so from that place, it's like I tried my best to look at all my life lessons, all the struggle, like what am I learning about love here? How am I supposed to learn to both love myself and to extend love and compassion to others? And so over the last few years, yes, I hear you. There is discernment, Sue. There is discernment. It helps to understand that underneath it all, we are all connected. Like I am fiercely protective of my family and my closest circle, right? I've had enough crazy in my life. So now as a grown-up and as a powerful woman, I get to say, nope, only letting these people in, right? So that's where discernment comes in, right? And yes, like talking about the person that hurt me growing up. Do I want that person, do I want to stay connected to him, like in my daily life social circle? No. Do I know, I am connected with him because he was part of my life, right? But I have accepted what happened to me and forgiven, myself for all the self-harm I did because of what he did to me, right? And I have released him and let him go. Do I approve of the things that he did to me? No. Don't. But I have personally, just to share here with you guys, I have forgiven him. In my heart of hearts, I have forgiven him. So that's another Periscope to talk about how the journey to that point. Exactly. There you go, Rob. That's brilliant. Awesome. Thanks, Mel. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. So it said, yes, we are connected, but we still get to choose, right? Who do we hang out with and who do we play with? And so what I wanted to, I'm looking at my time, 4:30 here. So I wanted to recommend a beautiful book to you guys that I read. And when I found this book, what was it, a few years ago? It's a children's book, actually. And when I read it, I just started sobbing. Exactly. It actually frees you not... Exactly. Exactly. That's it. Because the truth is, my forgiveness, and, I had to forgive me too. And like I said, forgiveness is a whole nother chapter. Is basically, it's his job. He needs to deal with his own forgiveness. And he may never get there, right? He may never get there. So, the book I wanted to suggest to you guys that you look up and take a look at was really, really sweet children's book. And where did I write it down here? Yes, The Old Turtle and the Broken Truth. Have you heard about it? It's by Douglas Wood. It's, you can actually, I just was looking up because I wanted to confirm the author of the book. It is, I think you can also find it on YouTube where someone reads the story and shows the video. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. And like I said, it just really, really hit me deeply when I read that book. So I'm going to give you a little assignment. Go read that book. So, but I also just, again, wanted to touch upon this is just something we're exploring with curiosity. Stay open, for yourself. What does this mean for you? And like I said, some of my, the more I realized how loving I am as a human. Yes, Sue, I actually am happy to pop a link somewhere in there. I can't do it here, but I can shoot it to you later. Like I said, once part of my authentic identity was once I realized that I am this incredibly loving human being, and I would start to really live out of that, meaning I'm always sending love and light to people. And even just, when I'm intentional about when I go into the grocery store, right? Sending love to all those who are around me, because who knows? We don't know what people are struggling with, right? And remember that when we forget that we are loved and how loving we can be, it's because of our hurt. It's because of our hurt. And it's hurt people that hurt people. And the more we learn to heal and love ourselves, the more love and compassion we naturally are willing to then extend to other people. So that's my thoughts for today. Any other comments or questions, you guys? Thanks for hanging in here with me with this. Good. Awesome, Rob. I'm glad you are enjoying it. Thank you for all your comments back. I really love them too. I really appreciate it. I love to dialogue with people. I could talk about, healing and changing and, health and wellness and loving our bodies and taking care of ourselves. There you go. Exactly. Yes. Good for you, Rob. Good for you. And that's my point earlier. Thanks for reminding me, is that often when we take a look at populations that are kind of on the fringes, maybe, people that, are homeless, it's like we have to take a look at, how do we judge them? What assumptions am I making about this person who looks like, they're struggling with life? Instead of judging, where are they hurting, right? What happened to them? How can I just, in my passing, be kind to that person? And just no matter what, we all deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. Always. Always. Yes. Thank you. I hear you, friends. I hear you. I hear you. Exactly. Yep. Well, I know you guys are on board, so I appreciate you being here and hanging out, but I wasn't going to keep it much longer today. It's Friday. What are you guys going to do this evening? I know it's late already for a couple of you. Fellow big mug person, yes. This one also is nice and warm. I picked this one. I also have small dainty ones. I love little flower teacups. My husband says I'm a granny at heart. You guys are going for sleep, meeting. Well, I hope you have a good night's sleep. It's been a very busy week. I'm gonna curl up on the couch and watch like a brainless movie or something. It's been busy, busy, busy. All right, and you're planning a retreat for your high school student. You're a busy bee, Nora. I know you are. Awesome. You guys do good work in the world. Thanks again for being here. Thanks for sharing your comments. I will. Thank you. Unwinding is a big part of my life today. How I'm learn to love myself, be kind to myself. All right, friends, much love to you all. Be gentle with yourself. I'll see you Monday, all right? So taking a break. I'll be back on Monday, all right? Monday through Friday. I'm gonna go play this weekend, play with my family tomorrow, and then on Sunday I'm in a workshop all day, so can't wait, it's exciting. All right guys, night night.